All right, well, conventional thinking would follow that Republicans should be in the driver's seat for next year's midterms. However, we have polling that shows Democrats may, in fact, have an edge. Want to bring in our panel of former White House insiders. Sery Kim is a candidate running for the special election for U.S. House District 6 in Texas. He's also a former assistant administrator for the U.S. Small Business Administration. Rick Gates, a former Trump campaign aide and author of the book Wicked Game, an insider story on how Trump won, Mueller failed, and America lost. And as always, Kelly Sadler, a former special assistant to President Trump. Welcome to all of you. Kelly, I want to start with you. You were looking at 2020, looking at the state houses that were lost. We're seeing right now, obviously, an assault on all things America from the Biden administration, from the border to the Washington, D.C., talking about packing the Supreme Court. How do Republicans win again, and how do we deal with this data showing that there is a growing divide as far as people who lean left versus people who lean right?
Well, I think it's important to break a couple things down. First and foremost is that we're still 18 months away from 2022 elections. So there's still a lot of time to enthuse the base. Also, secondly, a lot of this polling, it's unreliable. The Morning Consult poll from Politico skews heavily Democratic. I think it's interesting this week, a group of top Democratic pollsters all came out with a memo questioning how they got the 2020 race so wrong. If you remember, all the mainstream media was expecting a Biden blowout, not the fact that the GOP would actually pick up 12 seats in the House. And they have just a 50-50, majority in the Senate when you count Kamala Harris's vote. So I think there's a long way to go, and I think that Biden's radical agenda, something he's looking to bust up the filibuster, pack the Supreme Court. There's a crisis with immigration. These issues will buoy the base to get out in 2022, and we're already seeing that with really good fundraising numbers on the GOP side.
Well, Rick, I'll come to you because it seems as if there has been this belief that Democrats turned out in record numbers to get rid of Trump. It seems that some of the data on the ground shows, in fact, that it was some of those candidates down ballot who ran in losing efforts against Republicans that in many ways were able to boost those numbers to give Biden the edge in places like Georgia. How do we make sure that some of the things that we've seen thus far, the pushback on some of these crazy voter laws, don't have an unintended impact on the enthusiasm from the left electorate?
It's really important that Republicans, do the hard work now. They need to get into the electoral reform. They need to battle within these states, because by the time we get to the midterms in 2022, it's not going to really matter. The laws are going to be in place and we're going to have to deal with them, whatever they are. So the hard work needs to be done. But one of the things that people need to keep in mind, these national polls, they're meaningless. They don't show any formidable data. Everything is decided at the state level. And I would, actually argue that the Republicans are in pretty good shape. After 2020, Republicans control 30 state legislatures. We have 4,000 legislative members across all these legislatures, and we have 27 governors of states versus the Democrats' 23. But that doesn't mean we need to stop. We need to continue the momentum. It was a record voter turnout for Democrats, but it was a record voter turnout for Republicans as well. But that's where the hard work's going to have to show. We've got to get the voter turnout operations in place. And in midterms, it's harder because there's a lot less focus on that. Presidential cycles, you always have higher voter turnout. Right. So it's going to be really incumbent upon the Republicans to get those voters out.
Absolutely. Now, Sery, coming to you because you're on the trail right now. I see you from the car actually doing the actual hard work of touching the voters. We learned in 2016 that new campaign truism, data don't vote. You have to get out there, meet the people, and have a message that resonates. How do Republicans in this midterm, how are you in your race making sure that you're taking an America First message to the people who want to make sure that the needs of the American people come first?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Joe. People want to look you in the face, boots on the ground, and have you tell to them, what are your solutions for this country? The only reason why Republicans are polling behind Democrats is that we're so anti-Biden. We seem to not have a solution for this country. And the reason why it's so important for me as a first-time congressional candidate to go look at people in Tarrant, Ellis, and Navarro County is because I need to tell them I have a solution for this country. I'm not anti-Joe Biden alone. I have solutions for immigration. I have solutions for the deficit. I have solutions for the Second Amendment. I have solutions for the First Amendment. That's what people want from the Republican Party. And as long as we only run candidates who are anti-Joe Biden, we will lose the opportunity to take back the House in 2022.
All right, Sery, Rick, Kelly, stick with us. Going to have more from you guys after the break. You're watching Saturday Agenda. We'll have much more after this.